things and opinions change, okay? And I've realised this lately. My apologies for the shit set that I'm recording in. I'm just waiting for someone. And I had a thought to make a video, and I'm not at the new flat right now. So I just thought, fuck it, I'm just going to record here. Things and opinions change. And this has, come to light for me recently. Things that have happened. I thought I felt a certain way on a certain topic or whatever. Something's happened and it's like, oh, I actually don't feel like that anymore. And it's not to say that, I'm a completely different person or I've contradicted my morals and beliefs in any way. It's more of, sometimes you don't really know a situation until you're in it. And then it will have a way of, changing you or making you feel differently. I guess, some examples I could give would be like, I'm in the middle of a divorce. I'm not quite, I'm separated from my ex, do you know what I mean? And once I knew that it was happening, in my head I was like, what kind of woman am I going to be with? What kind of girl am I going to have next? What colour is her hair going to be? What colour are her eyes going to be? What will she be like? What will her interests be? And then I was like, do you know what? I think I'm just going to sleep around. I'm just going to fucking, or as I call it, go into slut mode. But, sure enough, that's not the way things have turned out, and I've opted against that, kind of on purpose, because, I'm not 25 years old anymore, okay? I've got a young son who's nearly 12. I've got 2 stepdaughters that, they're my girls. I've raised them as my own. I've co-parented them as my own. And, that's not the message that I really want to portray to them, is that dad's a man whore and sleeping around. You can picture what it would look like for them. Dad separates from mum, moves out and starts fucking everything that he can. That's not the kind of image, and it's not who I am. It's not the kind of image that I want to put out into the world, do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of that sort of thing, like especially in the male self-improvement space, that you have to have multiple women on the roster to be considered masculine. And I don't believe that. I think it's fucking garbage, if I'm honest. So I can see why a lot of people fall into this trap. It's a dream for these young guys that, they're not, they're not getting a lot of attention from girls or whatever. Some just want to have a girlfriend, or, some want to appear more attractive or whatever, and they get sucked into male self-improvement, and they get told by certain people, who I'm not hating on, that, to be considered masculine, you have to look a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to fuck X amount of women or have X amount of women on your roster. It's just garbage. I believe it's, it sends out the wrong message to young men. If you're single and that's how you want to live, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you can live life however you want. My philosophy was always that it's a complete matter of opinion, do you know what I mean? But I was never really sleeping around. I was just interviewing for wives, do you know what I mean? And so luckily I've remembered, do you know what I mean, my morals on these things, although I haven't always been perfect. I don't want to play the field and sleep around. So like, my opinion changed on that. It's not even changed, it's more of I just remembered where I stood on it and stood by it, do you know what I mean? But another example I could give, let's say your age range, your dating age range or whatever is 25 to say 50, these are just ballpark numbers I'm just throwing out. let's say, do you know what I mean, you're adamant you would never sleep with anyone or date anybody less than 25 or older than 50. Okay, life happens and unravels. You meet someone who's fucking 55 or 60, you know, and you know, you click with that woman in a way you've never clicked with anyone before. She makes you feel incredible. You know, she understands the male and female dynamic. She has the same interests as you. She's as driven as you are. And she makes you feel like no one's ever felt. Do you know what I mean? Makes you feel loved. And, you know, even though you said you'd never sleep with anybody over 50, you feel differently now. Do you know what I mean? And by that same token, you wouldn't sleep with anyone or date anyone less than 25. Say you meet a 22-year-old, and by a freak, you know, as it would happen, all the same is true what I just said for the older person. Do you know what I mean? You click with this person like you've never clicked with anyone. Sorry guys, let me put my light back on. You click with this person like you've never clicked with anyone. You have the same interests, you have the same drive, you know, same life experiences even. You know, your opinion's going to change. So I just wanted to touch on that.